From the Disco Yeti to Hoop-Dee-Doo review to a theme park that has its own city government, here are things you're not going to see anywhere but Disney World. Hey guys, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Today we are headed over to Disney World to talk about some really unique items you're going to see in these parks. First up, we want to talk about that thing we mentioned in the teaser, a theme park that has its own city government. This is true, you guys. Before Disney World opened, the Reedy Creek Improvement District was created, and this is a municipality, an actual government owned and basically governed by Disney with only a few residents, all of whom are current and former Disney employees. RCID, or the Reedy Creek Improvement District, has control over land use and environmental protections within the district and operates public services. There's a fire company, EMT, water treatment, power, trash, recycling, etc. in the municipality. So if you're wondering why some things cost a little bit extra in some parks than they do in other parks, that's because you're actually crossing zip codes and crossing tax brackets. Next up, let's talk about that boat bridge. Now, out in the real world, you'll find a couple of boat bridges in Britain and Germany, but they're not really a thing in the United States, and you definitely won't spot them at any other theme parks. The boat bridge at Disney World connects Bay Lake and Seven Seas Lagoon, so you'll actually pass underwater when you're driving from all other points in Disney World to the Contemporary and Magic Kingdom. Now, the boat bridge is super fun. You'll pass over the boat bridge when you are taking a boat from Wilderness Lodge, Fort Wilderness, Contemporary, over to Magic Kingdom, Polynesian, Grand Floridian, and back again. The next thing you are not going to see anywhere but Disney World are nightly fireworks displays in multiple parks. So international Disney parks have nightly fireworks displays, but Disney World takes the cake with putting on nighttime spectaculars at all 4 parks every single night. Hollywood Studios even has 2 shows happening nearly simultaneously each night, Fantasmic and Star Wars: A Galactic Spectacular. During the busy season, there might even be 2 showings of the same show each night. Definitely go to the second one if there is, because it'll be a lot less crowded. Now, when you think about the cost of this level of entertainment, Happily Ever After is estimated to cost somewhere between $41,000 and $55,000 each night. So if you're wondering where your ticket money is going, that is a good culprit right there. Now, while Animal Kingdom does not have fireworks in their Rivers of Light show, they do have a huge spectacle of a show that they put on every night. So we wanted to include that here. Next up, the longest running Disney parade. The electrical water pageant, believe it or not, has been continuously running since 1971, making it the oldest Disney parade out there. Some of the floats are actually the originals too. The whale and turtle have been cruising Seven Seas Lagoon since just 25 days after the Magic Kingdom opened. We've got to tell you about some serious American history that you're not going to find anywhere but Disney World. In Liberty Square, you'll spot the only replica of the Liberty Bell cast from the actual Liberty Bell's mold to be found in a theme park. And Disney World is also the only place you can see a carpet with the seal of the United States besides the White House. It actually took an act of Congress to get this to happen. And you can spot it just inside the Hall of Presidents. Next up, Hoop-Dee-Doo review. This is the longest running dinner show in American history. It debuted in 1974, and not much has changed since then. You'll get the same fried chicken, of which they serve 900 pounds each night, and other endless barbecue favorites as when the show started. The only change to the formula was swapping out apple pie for strawberry shortcake back in 1979. I'm so excited about this one, you guys, because I'm going to Hoop-Dee-Doo with my whole family tomorrow night. I'm just so excited. Can't wait. So I'm sure I'll get some footage for this video while I'm there. Now let's talk about Walt's favorite ride. We're pretty sure Walt probably had more than one favorite ride, but Carousel of Progress is definitely one of his proudest achievements. It's also the longest running stage show with the most performances in the history of American theater. Now this is one of the oldest attractions in Disney World. It opened there in 1975 after being moved from Disneyland, and it's the only ride at Disney World that Walt touched himself. Speaking of rides, let's touch on some rides here. There's some revolutionary ride tech in Disney World that you're not going to see anywhere else. So Carousel of Progress may have blown people away at the 1964 World's Fair, but Disney World hasn't stopped with that innovation. They're still coming up with rides that are so revolutionary the ride tech doesn't even exist yet. Disney's created new ride systems in order to stay ahead of the curve, and there's things at Disney World you just won't find in another theme park. The ride systems for Soarin' and Flight of Passage were created and patented by Disney, and we're expecting more innovation with the new Rise of the Resistance ride, which uses trackless tech we've seen in other Disney rides like Pooh's Honey Hunt and the Remy attraction coming to Epcot. Plus, incredible next-gen animatronics that we've seen in Navi River Journey and the upcoming Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Next, the fastest Disney ride. Disney World does have some pretty fast rides. If you're thinking Rock and Roller Coaster, you'd be wrong. Shanghai's Tron Light Cycle Power Run, which is coming to Magic Kingdom, by the way, tops out at 60 miles per hour, but Test Track and Epcot has both of them beat, reaching a top speed of 64.9 miles per hour. And of course, you'll see your speed displayed as you go under that signage when you're finishing up your test run on Test Track. And we've got to talk about Disco Yeti. Disco Yeti, you're definitely not going to see him anywhere else in the world. Speaking of revolutionary ride tech, Expedition Everest is the most expensive coaster ever built, costing $100 million, and it's the largest Disney mountain ever created. It's also home to the greatest broken piece of ride tech ever, the Disco Yeti. He's 25 feet tall, 20,000-pound audio animatronic that was the most advanced animatronic ever created until he broke pretty quickly after the ride opened. Joe Rohde has explained that it's nearly impossible to fix the Yeti without an incredibly long closure of this popular attraction, as the ride is made up of 3 separate complex pieces of attraction that would have to be dismantled in order to get to the problem. So the Great Imagineering temporary, if over a decade is temporary, fix strobe light, hence the name Disco Yeti. And if we're going to talk about Disco Yeti, we want to talk about Sonny Eclipse. On to the other great and functioning animatronics. We're headed to Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe, where you'll find the only retro band fronted by an alien. Sonny Eclipse has been entertaining guests since 1995, and you can catch his 25-minute show several times a day while you're munching on that Cosmic Rays food. And we've got to talk about Minnie Vans. Your rideshare can wear a costume at Disney World. You can grab a lift pretty much anywhere nowadays, but Disney World is the only place your car will show up in a costume. Minnie Vans, which you can get through the Lyft app, are vans driven by Disney cast members and cleverly decorated to resemble Minnie Mouse. Each van seats 6 people and comes with 2 car seats, something most lifts don't have, and you don't have to pay extra for those amenities. Now, we've talked about Minnie Vans endlessly on this channel. You know we love them. You know we use them all the time, so be sure to check out some of our other videos where we chat about Minnie Vans. All right, now we have to talk about the utilidors, the underground tunnels for employees. Again, this is not groundbreaking in the real world. There's plenty of places where employees have separate corridors, but building an entire underground tunnel system is pretty unheard of in the theme park industry. Magic Kingdom, if you didn't know, is actually built on the 2nd floor. And when you're walking around the park, there's hundreds of employees working and moving food and merch beneath your feet in the utilidors. Now, if you want to see inside, you can see inside with a Magic Kingdom VIP tour, but that's just about the only time you're ever going to see backstage unless you're working there. And finally, we've got to talk about Disney Vacation Club. So this is the only place in the world you're going to find the opportunity to quote-unquote own a piece of Disney. Now, we're not talking about those bricks that are getting retired on the walkways around Magic Kingdom. DVC is a timeshare program that lets you own a piece of Disney, so they say. Members choose their home resort in which they own an interest, but can use their Vacation Club points to stay at any resort in Disney World, Disneyland, Aulani in Hawaii, Disney Cruise Line, and many, many, many more locations around the world. So there's 14 things you're only going to find in Disney World. Totally unique in the theme park industry. Let us know your favorites in the comments. We can't wait to hear. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, you guys. As always, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.